Hello and welcome back to another episode of your new look Cleveland Browns, where it's mid-season time and it's about time for a mid-season review. How things are going, how things have gone, and how we expect things to go for the remainder of the season. We haven't yet played our Week 8 game, so it's not quite mid-season, but it's pretty much as close as we're going to get before the trade deadline, which we might have a little look at today as well. But as you can see, after our big defeat to the Cardinals last week, 31-14, we are now actually sat 4-2, which is still top of the AFC North after our bye week. As you can see, 4-2 with the Ravens 4-3, the Bengals 3-3, and the Steelers bottom of the AFC North at 3-4. So we're still up there, top of the division. We'll have a quick flick through all of the divisions. The Texans doing very well. Unfortunately for you Jags fans, Nick Foles can't do it, and you're 0-6, only scoring 79 points through 6 games and conceding nearly 180. Which isn't too great, but the Texans doing really well. The Colts 4-2 as well, quite a strong division in the AFC South. The AFC East, even though Brady has retired on this, they've got Kyler Murray. They're scoring points and they've only conceded 67 through 6 games. The Dolphins back at 3-3. The Jets, even with Le'Veon Bell, struggling. The AFC West, the Chiefs still dominating that division, even though they've conceded a lot of points, but they've also scored quite a lot as well. The Oakland Raiders, they are 2-4, slightly better on their record than last year. At this point, the Chargers struggling, and the Broncos, real trouble for them. Joe Flacco doesn't seem to be cutting it for them. The Lions doing really well. This is really quite a strong division actually. Even the Bears at the bottom at 3-3. The Packers haven't quite bounced back, third in the division, but the Lions doing really well with Matt Stafford. The Falcons, Matty Ice still producing the goods. The Panthers okay. The Saints having a real drop off, maybe losing Ingram may have affected them a little bit on the offensive side of the ball, but they have conceded up there with the most points I think we've seen so far, 198 points. Tampa Bay Buccaneers scoring not many and conceding too many. There, the NFC East, the Eagles 5-2, top the division. The Giants in second, the Redskins 3-4, and the Dallas Cowboys 1-6, not having a great time there at all. The Dallas Cowboys. The Cardinals 5-2 after thumping us last week. They're doing really well. The Rams doing well. The Niners and Seahawks down there struggling. The Seahawks conceded the Legion of Boom. Well and truly over 218 points conceded for them so far. That is not good. As the bottom of the NFL is going to be the Jets at the moment, I do believe. The Jaguars, sorry. The Jags, the Broncos, the Cowboys, the Jets, the Bucks, not doing too well. We are up there actually in terms of the NFL. We're up in 9th seed at the moment, and in the AFC that is good enough to be the 4th seed, top of the division. So not too shabby. We'll have a quick look at some of the stats. Baker Mayfield 17th in passing, but 3rd in touchdowns, which is quite good. 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions through 6 games. Not too bad. A long pass of 82 yards. Trevon Boykin, 12 attempts, 70 yards, 50% completion. The rushing stats for your Cleveland Browns so far: 35 attempts for Kareem Hunt, 166 yards. Topping it for us, in behind him is Baker Mayfield, Ty Montgomery, Nick Chubb, who's been injured for a fair bit of this season, J.D. McKissick with a few carries, even Demetrius Harris with 1 rushing attempt, Trevon Boykin with a couple. The receiving stats: David Njoku, I love a tight end. Njoku tops the receiving stats with 29 receptions and 513 yards. Over double what Jarvis Landry has in receiving yards with 246. Callaway, nearly double Callaway. Easily double Odell Beckham, who is injured, of course. Rashad Higgins, nearly very, very similar stats to Odell Beckham, actually. Kareem Hunt getting a lot of receptions out the backfield, a lot of yards as well. Demetrius Harris with a few. Nick Chubb not doing so great. And Ty Montgomery got us a first down, so that's good. Blocking, Batonio's allowed a sack. The men that are allowing sacks is our left tackle and our right tackle. The two guys, I mean, Desmond Harrison, you know, he's still quite young, so it's okay. And Cody Ford's a rookie, so that's fine. Topping the tackle list is Myles Garrett. Topping the sacks list, 10.5 sacks already. Myles Garrett. Couple of picks in there for Ward and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who is a rookie. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good stats so far mid-season. 15-7 for Baker Mayfield. Top of the passing charts in the league is Matty Ice by a couple of 100 yards as well. 19 for 5, 19 for 3 Mariota. Even Josh Allen up there as well in the yards. We haven't thrown that many. I mean, Dwayne Haskins above us, Ryan Fitzpatrick above us, Drew Lock clearly playing for the Broncos. It's not been Flacco. Mitch Trubisky, Cousins, Kyler Murray, Mahomes. So me and Mahomes, we're pretty close. In fact, we have a better pass completion and one more touchdown, but 3 more picks. But 1 yard in it between us, and people seem to compare these two a little bit for some reason. So we're in there with Mahomes. We're in and around Andrew Luck, Lamar Jackson. That's not such bad company to be around. Anyone not done too well? Nick Foles, 7-4. But a lot of these guys up. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater 8-2 for the Saints. A lot of these guys up in it. They're all pretty much in double figures apart from Andrew Luck, really, and Kirk Cousins. Even Fitzpatrick's not got many touchdowns to his name. But most of these guys double figures now, which is what you would expect. Receiving yards. We're looking at Devontae Adams here, who is smashing it out the park by the looks of it, ahead of Julian Edelman. These are names you wouldn't expect to be top of the receiving yards. Julio Jones up close. Adam Humphries getting a lot of receptions. Travis Benjamin only 20 receptions, but a lot of yards, a lot of run after the catch as well. DeAndre Hopkins, Cole Beasley, David Njoku, there's a tight end, and there's Tyler Croft as well. Smith-Schuster up there. Antonio Brown actually being outperformed by Smith-Schuster. That's an interesting one. I'd like to see that happen in real life. Julius Thomas is up there. Sterling Shepard after getting a big contract from the Giants. Taylor Gabriel, former Brown. Calvin Ridley, Keenan Allen, Stefan Diggs. Anyone underperforming? DK Metcalf is in there. Top in touchdowns. Have a little look at that. Julian Edelman, Humphries, Deshaun Jackson, Carl Rudolph. That's a really strange one. Thought it would have been someone like DeAndre Hopkins. Alvin Kamara tops it here. 96 carries, 7.2 yards a carry. That is crazy. That's crazy numbers. That's a couple of yards on David Johnson. That's a couple of yards on pretty much everyone up here. Gurley, Lindsay, Barkley, McCaffrey, Freeman, Bell. It's a couple of yards on everyone. For 98 carries, 7 yards a carry. That's crazy. And 8 touchdowns. That is crazy from Alvin Kamara. I did not expect to see that. The awards, weekly awards, we'll have a quick rumble through those. Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Mack and Garrett. Any Browns players doing well? Ryan Shazier at the Redskins. No. Fitzpatrick getting it in the AFC. Dalton getting it. Josh Allen getting it. Mayfield got it last week, and he definitely didn't get it the week before. Last week, so we just got thumped. But we got it with Mayfield once. Probably not going to get the MVP with Baker Mayfield this year. But what we were going to have a quick look at as well is the trade block. See if there's anyone on there that we can actually pick up. Don't really need running backs, but there are a few decent ones there. Wide receivers, don't really need wideouts. Tyler Higbee, no, we don't really need those sorts of players. Now we've got Chubb back. And we've got Kareem Hunt. We could probably trade away. Ooh, we could do the corner, Anthony Brown. I'm not sure what they'll need. Myles Garrett's a 98 at 23 years old. 94 Denzel Ward. Right, we've got 2 picks in the first round. We can look at probably getting rid of Montgomery. I don't know if they'll like that. Okay, that's about halfway. So we don't really need Montgomery. We've got McKissick who'll sit behind, and we've got Chubb and Hunt who are the 1-2 punch anyway. So I don't really need either of those two behind, but that's fine. A lot of injuries in the wide receivers core, as you can see. Njoku, Harris, Seth DeValve, we don't really need. Maybe they'll take him. No, they don't like Seth DeValve. I don't like Seth DeValve either, but we can't get rid of him. Can't really afford to get anyone gone on the offensive line. And tackles, again, we can't really afford to get rid of anyone. It's going to be very difficult, I think, to actually... Christian Kirksey, possibly. TJ Carey, Lindsey Pickens. We could get rid of a corner for a corner. Maybe they'll like that. It's going to have to be picks, I think, as well. We're going to have to throw in like maybe a 4th round pick as well. Okay, Lindsey Pickens can go a 4th round pick this year and a 4th round pick next year. Maybe they'll like that. No. I want Brown. I really want him. So this year's 4th, Ty Montgomery, and we don't actually have a fullback. And Jalen Strong, because we don't use him. No, don't want Jalen Strong. I don't know if we're going to be able to get him. How are we going to do this? I'm just thinking. I'm trying to think how we can do this. Malik Simpson. Oh, we might even need to give that away now. There we go. Trade accepted. So a 74 defensive tackle who seldom got on the field, and Ty Montgomery, who isn't the best running back in the world, for an 83 rated corner from the Cowboys, who was on the trade block. So we'll have a look at him, see how he improves our team, because I think that's a pretty good addition. Someone's going to tell me he's terrible, but that's fine. Anthony Brown, he's our third, he's our 2nd best cornerback. He is a definite upgrade on Terrence Mitchell and TJ Carey, who we're actually going to look to trade away as well. So we'll trade away TJ Carey as well in this video. We'll look at a couple of free agents to bring in to bolster out our roster, because we only have 51 players at the moment, and then we'll have a full team because he's taken up a lot of cap room. We'll try and see if anyone is actually interested in TJ Carey. He's only a 76. He's not the best in the world. We'll try and get like a 3rd, or try and get a 4th round pick, as the Texans' #1 need is corner, although they say they don't want him. I think like a 3rd round pick this year. Okay, it wouldn't be a 4th round pick this year. Come on, he's not that bad. Okay, 4th round pick this year. They're pretty happy with that. I'm happy with that. 50-man roster. We need a defensive tackle, which we'll look at. We'll look at getting a defensive tackle in as backup. He was a former Brown. See if I've heard of anyone apart from him. No, we're getting really bad players now. Or, hang on. I'm thinking practice squad. Who's on our practice squad? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, okay. Not the practice squad then. Right. Defensive tackle. We need a defensive tackle 100%. So we're going to bring in Carl Davis. He's a former Brown anyway. 27 years old, 6'5", end of the season, £2 million contract. Sorted. He's in for the season. Right, that's good. And then we kind of need another backup quarterback. No, none of these are very good. No, we don't need another. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Get Peterman in. Only 65, but he's not going to cost as much money, so that's fine. And we don't have a fullback, and I like Danny Vitale because, again, he's a former Brown. So in he comes. That is us now on the trade deadline, done for trades. We are now closed. The shop is closed. We'll quickly scout the college players, and that will be about it. We haven't really scouted many. We've got pick number 6. We've got a pick right up there. We don't need a QB, so we're not even going to bother scouting them. I'm not wasting my scouting points on quarterbacks. We always look at the wideouts because, you know, you never know. Defensive tackle, again, that's the thing we need. Alexander Diaz. I like the look of... he fits scheme. He's a scheme fit. Red zone threat. Only 6'2" red zone threat though. 6'4", big Curry Todd. Sure we can change these names. Or can you edit the players? Hang on. Oh, you can edit the draft class. Okay, I didn't realise you could do that. Patrick Mormon. We could do with a tackle, an offensive tackle, but there doesn't really seem to be many high up in this draft. We'll leave the rest of the scouting for now. We'll come back to it. But you know, we've got a few contracts to look at, which we'll look at probably next video, next episode. We'll play the Jets next as well. That will be potentially Saturday now when we play them. But that's been pretty much the mid-season review. After 8 weeks, we'll play the Jets next. Project that we go 5-2, and after 7 we'll be 5-2, and then all we've got to do really is get sort of 5 more wins. We can afford to really lose games after that. We'll go 10-6. Looking quickly at the schedule, I'll sort of predict wins and losses quickly for you. So yeah, we'll look at the schedule here. Projection of wins and losses. I feel like we will beat the Jets. We will beat the Niners. I think we'll probably beat the Seahawks. So there's another 3 on the bounce. And that puts us to 7-2. Potentially lose to the Steelers 7-3. 8-3 against the Bills. 8-4 against the Ravens. 8-5 against the Texans, 8-6 against the Patriots, and then we win out against the Rams and the Ravens, 10-6. That's me thinking maybe, you know, but giving myself a couple of wins and a couple of losses in and around there. But the Steelers could go either way, and the Ravens could go either way as well. So that's what I think. 10-6 will make the playoffs doing that. I think Odell is out for the rest of the season. If we look at the injury report, he's done something quite serious. Yeah, so 19 more weeks for Odell. He's out. Batonio will be back in 4. Trett will be back, and Randall will be back. So we'll be a lot stronger, and that will help us because we are struggling on the offensive line a lot with 64, 68, 75. You know, our offensive line looks toilet all of a sudden. But we'll get a couple back. We'll look stronger, we'll look better, and that will be our team going forward for the rest of the season. That's been the mid-season review for our new look Cleveland Browns. Hope you have enjoyed this one, a slightly different one, no game today, but I hope you have enjoyed it, and we'll see you for our next game next week against the New York Jets.